What up, brothers? It's Clipper King returning for a really special review tonight. It's a figure that I've been sort of craving over the last month, and even back to when I first saw the pre-order pictures. I thought it looked a beauty. It's turned up today and it is a beauty. But you're probably thinking, well, why are you filming the rest of your collection? Where's the new figure? What I want to do before I actually get onto the review is just show you a couple of my favourite figures. I'm going to buzz through the collection pretty fast and tell you what sort of my top figures are, in my opinion, or what I like about them. I just want to breeze through, take a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to start the review. The reason I want to do that is because I think this figure that I'm going to review tonight could be the contender for the best figure I've got. So I'm just going to blast through quick. As you can see, got the Entebbe 1/4 scale Batman, which is a beaut. Got a couple of DX10s and a endoskeleton, which I really like. Got the Indiana Jones and the Jack Sparrow DX, again, which I really like. Moving down to the DX Luke Skywalker, and below that the DX Michael Jackson and the Thriller and Beat It versions. Moving across, I've got both the Entebbe Scarface figures, the Hot Toys Godfather, got a custom James Bond, got the Hot Toys Barney Ross from Expendables 2, Carlito back, a Winston Churchill, and the Johnny Depp Public Enemies figure from DID. Just moving up, these are a bit all over the place because I'm just in the middle of cleaning and reposing them. A few of the Avengers, obviously got Nick Fury, the Mark 7, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Thor, Captain America. Moving up, Bane, the DX11 Joker, Catwoman, two versions of the DX12 Batman, which I totally love. Moving across, a couple of custom figures. Got a Dexter and the Rick Grimes from My Mini-Me, which are quite sought after and really like them. Got the two DX Jokers from '89. That would be the DX8 and 14, and the DX9 at the back. Again, they're all beauties. The DX Bruce Lee. Below that, the classic Predator. So yeah, just moving across. Like I said, I'm in the middle of reposing these and getting them set up. The Last Stand Wolverine, the Amazing Spider-Man, the newly fixed one, the Medicom Amazing Spider-Man, the Hulk, Coulson, the original Wolverine, X-Men Origins, the classic Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, the gift from Wyman at back, which is the Udzom from 3A, and then the figure I'm going to review tonight is this bear motherfucker, and it is the DX13 Terminator. So that gives you a rough idea of the figures I've got in collection. I will say, if I were pushed, my favourite figure as it stands is the DX12 Batman. I just love it. It's just eye-catching, I think. The things I've done to it, the attention it's brought me, I just really like the figure. But so basically, I'm going to be comparing the DX13 to the DX12, and I'll tell you if I can explain what I think the favourite figure is in my collection. So that was a short little interlude. I'm now going to roll on to the proper review. Right, let's roll on to the review proper. Like I said, I only showed you that so I can, when I make a comparison towards the end, it will make sense to you. But let's crack on and get into it. I will say firstly that this one on the left is a DX10 body and outfit, apart from the coat. That is the battle damaged coat with the long sleeved one. Obviously on this one it has the ripped sleeve so you can see the battle damaged arm. Obviously this is wearing the lesser damaged head, and I am using the battle damaged hands, but like I said, I will make it clear to you what's what. I knew somebody would ask me, does the coat fit the DX10? Would the head fit a DX10? And I know somebody had asked me because I asked that myself, and it does. So the fact that I've got two DX10s is really going to help me, because it means I'm going to have a fully clean version like that, to a slightly damaged, to a proper damaged, right down to the robot. So that's pretty much why I've been buzzing so much to get this figure, because it sort of completes my Terminator 2 line sort of thing. But yeah, I'll just move in and show you the posers. Obviously I didn't change that a lot from how the DX10 were, with the Gatling gun slung over the shoulder, the thumper up with his eyes sort of looking down it. Got the bandolier on in the bag that came with the DX10 on the DX10 stand. The guy you probably have come to see is the DX13. And as we look up him, pretty simple pose to go with first, but of all the pictures that were put out last week when it got released, this is sort of a version of the one that I preferred. Said before, some figures need to be articulated to show the character they are. Something like a Terminator, I think that just looks fucking cool as. Nice and close. Like I said, that is the more battle damaged of the two heads. I will go into depth when I get to likeness. I probably will show you the eyes moving. I will go in proper depth with this one. I want this video to be sort of, I know there's probably going to be about 5 or 6 really good reviews go up of this over the next week, 2 weeks, and I want mine to be among them, so I'm really going to go in depth with this one. If it's a lot of parts and you don't want to watch it all, then so be it. If you just want to check odd bits, so be it. Like I say, you might want to come back to it when you get your figure and you want to steal some posers. If that's what you want to do, I'm all for it, brothers. But let's roll on. Can't stop looking at it. I'm looking at it through viewfinder and I'm looking up at top at viewfinder because it just looks beautiful. But anyway, source material. Let's get some scores on the doors. I want to take you back to a time, 1991, which is when this figure came out. You think of the films that we sort of had to go by when it comes to special effects. As special effects, really, you had to go to Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, probably the Alien films, the Predator film. Everybody had a little dabble at it. But the next massive leap forward was this, T2. The first Terminator film was really good for its time as well. I think the story carried it through and it is action-packed and everything. But this just took it to another level. It made you watch it, and when you saw the T1000, you were like, fucking hell, how the fuck did they do that? It's some kind of magic. Kids of this time will not know. They've seen Lord of the Rings and seen Avengers and they've seen everything that's possible to show now. So if they were to go back, they probably won't fully realise it. But all I know is my son's been brought up on the films that I love, and he's watched this a number of times, and I think he really enjoys it because not only is it a special effects film, it's also a really good story, and it's also one of them films that you can watch and you see something different every time. And I know there's been different releases of it to sort of extend on it and, I don't know, give you different cuts, and I think every one that you watch is really good. And like I say, to capture a young audience, especially like I say when they're sort of desensitised to special effects, it's got to be an awesome film. I think it was highly quoted. I think the catchphrases from it and the lines from it, most collectors would know it, most people would know it. It's, when I say classic films, to me classic films are The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull, stuff like that. I'm a massive Robert De Niro fan, as most of you know, but I've also got to class this as a classic film. Everybody knows it. The main character is iconic, the story is iconic. Some people watch it not understand what the fuck's going on, but they would still know the Terminator when they saw him. And for that reason, I have got to give the source material a pretty easy 5 out of 5. Moving on to packaging, and this one's well worth talking about. As you see, it's the Hot Toys Special Edition. I've got to say, I go the price with a buyer, and I'll make that clear when I get to the value. But I didn't know until I opened it this morning that it was the special edition I was getting, which sort of got me buzzing even more. I thought I was just getting the normal version for the price he'd offered me, and it turned out to be the special edition. It weren't something I weren't demanding the special edition, I just wanted the figure sort of thing. But when it did come, I thought, oh, fucking nice one, he's done me a rate deal here for the fact I've got this, and didn't realise that's what I was paying for. So yeah, so I'll show you the sticker first. As you see, it is reminiscent of the DX10, like the leather jacket effect. Really nicely done. You see the sort of leather grain as I move the light around the box. Then it's got the gloss black T2, And as we move down, we've got the Chrome Effect T800 Battle Damage version, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Obviously got the Sideshow Collectibles, because I think this was the Sideshow Collectibles edition, the sort of VIP edition sort of thing. The Studio Channel, I think that's the television company, or the production company should I say. The DX and the Optoys also in chrome. Then what you notice, and the really good effect, is the bullet marks. And then around the bullet marks it's sort of got a red wash, like the blood would be seeping through onto the leather. And I think they've done it really well, because it does actually, as you move it away, you can see the next layer below it. So I think they have done a really good job. It is eye-catching, something very cool about it. Magnet side, an hinge in the back left corner, which stops the, if you were to open it flat on a table, it would stop it creasing down the front. On the inside, I know now why you cry. This is something I can never do. If you can make that out, it is quite a jumble of letters. And as you see, the bullet marks through, and then the font down at the bottom of the graphics. You get this piece of bullet old leather on a card that is removable, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And it says, I sense injuries, the data could be called pain, which is another line from the film. As we open it, the figure and the spare head rouse there, and then the T1000 there, with the accessories underneath the figure. Really nice functional box. Now I've got to be careful, because in a minute I'm going to drop everything, so I don't want to do that. So let me get that wrapped back round. So not only really functional, but also really pleasing to my eye. It does feel good card again. I said about the DX13 Joker using really good cardboard, much better than the MMS figures. The DX figures for me is where it's at. Your money goes a little bit further. Sometimes they're not dearer. The DX Joker wasn't compared to the Spider-Man. This were a little bit dearer, or a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but when you're getting a good quality box and your figure's fucking amazing, and you can't think of another extra you add, then you know where your money's gone. So the box is just the first thing you see, and I am going to give it, again, quite an easy 5 out of 5.